Is Bronny James, the son of NBA superstar LeBron James, that bad of a basketball player? Did the Lakers really waste a second-round draft pick on him? Well, I researched the last 20 players who were picked 55th overall before Bronny from 2004 until today, and the results even surprised me. And we're going to take a look at them right now. Let's get at it. Bronny James has taken a lot of heat online since the Lakers drafted him with the 55th overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft. And some don't consider that a big deal because the 55th pick is kind of seen as an afterthought. And so I took a look at all the players who were picked 55th, and it's kind of true. 14 of them haven't logged in more than 82 games at the NBA level and have averaged under 10 minutes of court time per game. Yes, you're not going to find the next dynamic player to build a championship roster around that late in the draft. However, it is a pick that can be used to find key pieces of a team's supporting cast. Patty Mills in 2009, Jeremy Evans in 2010, Etuan Moore in 2011, and Jeffrey Laverne in 2012, and Aaron Wiggins in 2021 have all played in over 200 games in the NBA. So it is possible to get a solid return on investment, even from a relatively insignificant piece of draft capital. Looking back at those players, the gold standard of recent 55th picks would have to be Patty Mills. Drafted in 2009 by the San Antonio Spurs, Mills was a key contributor during their 2014 NBA championship run. Mills gave the Spurs 14 points in the fourth quarter to get them their series-clinching win against the Miami Heat. And yes, Mills helped snatch a ring from Bronny's daddy, LeBron James. And he is still an active player this season for the Utah Jazz. His career turned out pretty good for a throwaway pick at the end of the draft. So while it is possible to find quality role players that deep in the draft, how does Bronny James, with his relatively small sample size of time on the floor, fit in with these players? Well, with just 2 games under his belt, we're going to use his game averages to project his G League performance alongside of the averages of those 20 55th overall picks. Now it's important to note that 5 of these picks never played a single game in the G League. So we're really dealing here with 15 players before Bronny James. After comparing his stats against the stats of all 15 players, so adding Bronny to the mix would give us a group of 16 players for this data set. Bronny's 28.5 minutes per game would be 9th out of the 16 players. Bronny's 5 points per game would be 15th. Bronny's 2.5 rebounds per game would be 15th. Bronny's 3 per game would put him in 8th place. Where Bronny does the best is in steals per game at 1.5, which would put him 3rd overall. 1 block per game puts him at 4th overall, but his 3 turnovers per game puts him at 15th out of 16. 21.1% for his field goals would be dead last, and really it's just barely half the efficiency of the 15th place guy, Marcus Page, who shot 41.5%, and of course his 3-point field goals at 0% would be dead last. Yes, these numbers are atrocious, and it is still just the start of the season. And don't forget, the guy is only playing home games, apparently, so he's getting extra time to rest. He's proven an affinity for load management, just like his daddy. Mucho no bueno all the way around for Bronny. But there is one other area in which Bronny James is projected to fall horribly short of the other players around him. It's not on a stat sheet, and it's really not impactful to the league as much as it is to the individual player. And it's something that his dad, LeBron, has excelled at, and that's career longevity. Because if we're looking for an NBA player with worse overall stats than Bronny from that group of 20 players, 2012's 55th pick, Darius Johnson Odom. He only played in 7 NBA games, averaged 3 minutes per game, 0 for 4 from three-point range, 0 for 2 from the free throw line, and 0 for 11 overall from the field, and ended up scoring 0 points in the NBA. In fact, Johnson Odom is the record holder for most career field goal attempts in the NBA with 0 points scored. There is no way that Bronny can put up worse numbers, and by every metric, Johnson Odom represents the lowest possible return on investment for an NBA team. And yet, since being drafted way back in 2012, Darius has enjoyed a 10-year career overseas, where he is still active as of 2024 in France. And while he isn't playing in the league where he was drafted, he has enjoyed success in carving out a decade-long career playing the game of basketball. And I don't think that the 10-year career that Johnson Odom has enjoyed in international play is even an option for Bronny. I mean, would an overseas team even give Bronny a chance? Why bother? To take on a bottom-tier college player, one who, don't forget, has had significant health issues on the court, plays his dad's load management BS without his dad's notoriety or stat-padding production? What financial expectations will Bronny have from a new team after getting the largest contract ever for a 55th overall pick and having a dad with 10-figure wealth? How hungry could we expect Bronny to be to work on his game and continue to improve? What international club would willingly sign on to deal with LeBron, Savannah, and the Clutch Sports Mafia's constant nagging and meddling? To put up with a player princess who doesn't want to travel or do road games? Why bother when there is plenty of talented players available who want to play hard, who aren't a distraction, and are willing to put it all on the line to fulfill their personal dream of a career just playing competitive basketball? And every one of those 55th overall picks with more than 5 years experience who didn't play more than 250 games in the NBA, every one of them have enjoyed a career with at least 6 years of international play. And I really don't think that Bronny is capable of that kind of run. Not overseas, and certainly not in the NBA. You guys let me know in the comments if you think Bronny has a chance to be an NBA great, or if he's always going to be remembered as a barely willing pawn in his dad's grandiose scheme of becoming the NBA version of the Griffies.